team that last year finished 13th in the Big 12. Western Carolina hoping to build on a 4-win season in the Southern Conference last year. We're underway, and the Bearcats control first. Here's Krisa, his 6th season of college basketball, his 3rd different school. Off to the young kid, Abayev, and he nails his first Cincinnati shot.
Big time move to get the guy involved, involved early, coming off the screen, getting into the lane, and getting a nice floater.
Highland swings it over to Samaro, who's very familiar playing in Tim Kraft's system, spent 3 years at Gardner-Webb with his now head coach at Western Carolina. Shot fake and the turnaround. Stansberry rattles it in. One of the top returning scorers last year for Western Carolina. Cincinnati rolls out the starting 5 of Thomas, Abayev, Krisa, Miller, and Cham. And they get it to the big fella inside, working one-on-one with Fantakaba. Krisa nails the 3.
Very experienced player there. Nick Kirk got a shot fake up, knocked the 3 down. Good start for him.
Team's 3 of 3 to start tonight. Samaro off to the right and tracked down in the corner. Good hustle from Fantakaba, but it's knocked off of the big fella. And that's going Cincinnati's way.
Well, he came open, good shot fake here, got the guy off his feet, got a clean look, knocked it out. He's been doing that for years, so I look forward to him knocking a lot of shots down for Cincinnati tonight.
And Cincinnati, Steve, has had some shooters under Wes Miller, but what does Krisa provide that's maybe different from some of those other guys?
Well, he's experienced, he's poised, he don't rush anything, he's gonna take any given look that he gets.
That's long for Miller. Thomas tracks down the offensive rebound. Krisa tries again, and he's 2 for 2.
As a player, you always want to see your first 2 shots go down, that goes up. He has it going early. I look for him to take a lot of more shots coming down the stretch.
Fantakaba almost lost it, gets it to Highland in the corner. 13 to shoot for the Catamounts. Trying to get it to Samaro, and that's an excellent back cut to lay it in. He's small inside, but he knows how to slither his way through.
Great set. They pushing it strong.
Good contest by Fantakaba at the rim, as both teams want to play quickly in transition. Shovel pass, Stansberry tries to drive inside. The kick, Samaro. Trying to get Abayev in the air, the freshman holds his ground. Kell, tough shot, can't hit it. Miller the rebound.
Good defense by Cincinnati, looking to push here. You got the big guy open in his block.
This is a mismatch here. Abayev trying to back down Samaro. Follow-away jumper is good.
That's his game. He gets that ball down on the block. He takes his time, see what the defense is getting, and he just elevates over him. Young guy, good shot, Sean.
Samaro rims out, rebound Miller, and again Cincinnati wants to push. Thomas catch and shoot 3. Offensive rebound, Miller inside. Trying to muscle his way up, and he does well. His first bucket at Cincinnati.
What I like about what he did there, Anthony, is that he got the rebound under the basket. He didn't force anything up. He got it 1 or 2 dribbles, got in position, and went up strong and finished it.
Steve, this has been a frantic pace. This is really the first time we've seen either team really slow it down and play a half-court set.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati wants to get up and down. I think that's what they preached all summer, was throw the ball ahead and make plays.
Western Carolina's had some of those successes on the backdoor cut. Stansberry there again. Up ahead to Thomas. Cincinnati not wanting to slow it down. Krisa makes the extra pass over to Abayev. Too strong from 3. Thomas trying to hustle for the rebound. He's got it. Over to Miller in the corner. Wrap around to Cham inside, and he lost it. Here comes Samaro for the Catamounts. 1-on-4. And he loses it. Bounces out to Abayev. And he loses it as well. And Highland with an excellent diving play to keep it alive.
A little bit expected in a home opener, up and down, a lot of turnovers.
Stansberry too short. And a foul going on Fantakaba to send us to a break. Frantic pace so far. These guys are
for Coach West.
And as Kelsey reported, they were looking for a little more offense. When you look at this Cincinnati roster compared to the other 4 rosters Wes Miller has had, how does it differ from
well, you got
the past
some guys,
years?
we got some guys on the Cincinnati team now that is not afraid to shoot that ball, and that's what you need. You need guys that are looking to score, but also buy into the teamwork as well.
Miller up for the rim rattle.
Wow, easy seal for the big guy. Catch, drop step, two-hand dunk. It don't get no easier than that.
And to your point, Cincinnati starting the game 2 of 5 from long range. Both of the threes going to Krisa.
Still running the ball action here.
Inside, Kell trying to back his way down, and that is a tough shot off one leg.
Well, you got 2 dribbles to the paint. Cincinnati got to have somebody in there thinking paint first. They got to shoot long three-pointers. Got to stop the guys in the paint first.
What a career it's been, as we talked about, for Kell, a guy that started being a bench guy, then redshirted, really made leaps and bounds last year, and now regarded as one of the top players in the Southern Conference.
Well, good for him, guy. I always root for the guys that work hard. What he did, he sealed him front side, got the ball, one step, drop step, two-hand dunk, and that's what you need in the Big 12, a guy that can go up and tear the rim down.
Baba Miller, we talked about Kell with his journey through Western Carolina, but Miller's had a journey as well. He's going to sub out now with Celestine, a transfer from Baylor, coming in, but Miller started his career at Florida State, spent 2 years there, and then last year at Florida Atlantic, where he averaged more than 11 points per game. Entry feed to Thomas, and that rattles in.
Great out of bounds play by Cincinnati. You got McKinley coming up for a back screen. Day coming off with an easy 15-footer jump shot.
That is a grab away from the basketball. Sincere Harris getting tied up over there with Chase McKee. Now, Tim Kraft, we mentioned, second-year head coach at Western Carolina. Spent 11 years at Gardner-Webb, where he knocked off 6 power conference opponents during his time with Gardner-Webb. So this is not a easy matchup by any means for Cincinnati coming into this game tonight. A guy that really knows how to coach, and especially against the top programs.
The guys are always trying to build their resume, coming in trying to beat a big-time school like Cincinnati.
Johnson leads his 3 short, a battle inside for the rebound. Dada has it, and good perseverance inside, but just better defense from Tyler McKinley. Harris off to the races, through contact, and one.
About that, Anthony, is that the rebound was to Tyler McKinley. He got it out to Day. Day pushed it up, pushed the ball ahead to get a layup here. Look, you see Day right there pushing it ahead, not dribbling it, and letting his guards play. And that's what you need in the season right now. You got to get that ball up ahead of you, not dribble so much so other guys can make plays.
As a former point guard yourself, is that an overlooked attribute of, yeah, you might have the fancy handles and you can dribble, but move the ball faster with a pass than a dribble?
That's the smart play. That's what you want to do. You want guys to continue to run the floor. You got to push it up ahead and let them work on their strengths and get easy baskets along the way.
So Harris caps off the 3-point play, a transfer from West Virginia, who is really known for his defense. 2 seconds left to get it across the timeline, and Petaway gets it over with 1 second to spare. Baseline pass over to Johnson. He has it knocked away by Harris, showing off that defense, and that is off of the Catamounts. Johnson couldn't handle it.
That's what I was speaking on, his nickname Buck, because he plays 94 feet hard all day long, and that's what he's going to do. That's what he brings to the table. It's great defensive pressure.
Jordy Rodriguez coming in for Cincinnati. The first time the freshman will take the floor for the Bearcats, and Fisher Brown comes in as well for the Catamounts, taking out Talon Petway. So it's Tillery, Rodriguez, Harris, McKinley, and Celestine on the floor for Cincinnati. And here's Harris, an excellent crossover in the kick. Rodriguez spots up in the corner and nails the triple.
Great play by Harris, pushing it up. A little tic-tac foul on the back. But what he did on the offensive end, Anthony, he pushed the ball up, made 2 guys connect on him, and he kicked it out to a wide-open Rodriguez. There it is. That's the play. He's wide open. Hey, if you're gonna be a shooter, you got to make open shots wide open, and that's what they're doing.
Well, Rodriguez, the Spaniard, knocks down his first shot. Very highly touted prospect from overseas. Harris has to check out now, picking up 2 fouls in only a couple of minutes of action off the bench.
If I'm Coach West from Cincinnati, I'd take that early in the opener. A lot of aggression.
Good hands from McKinley to knock it away. McKinley. Outside, Rodriguez wants another 3, and he's fouled that time. 3 shots coming for Jordy Rodriguez.
One thing that I'm noticing about the Cincinnati players out here early, in the minutes that they're getting, everybody is being aggressive, looking to take the ball to the basket. And good things happen. Once you get that ball in the basket in the paint, guys start to get open, and you start to get open looks.
Rodriguez will get 3 shots here. Freshman from Barcelona. Now, the weekend full of UC sporting events is coming up, and the Bearcats have a deal for you. Just $50, secure a ticket to football versus Arizona, men's basketball versus Mount St. Mary's, and women's basketball versus Georgetown. Visit GoBearcats.com/bundle to secure your weekend package today. Rodriguez rims out on the final free throw, and the rebound in the hands of Samaro. It's been a 9-0 run for Cincinnati over the last minute and a half. Great cut inside, but a better defensive play by McKinley to knock it away.
Cincinnati is getting beat backdoor almost on every play, but Tyler McKinley being in great position to go up and make that block.
Chase McKee thought he had an easy slam, but McKinley slid over to make the play. 11 to shoot for the Catamounts here. It's with Dumassi, the Frenchman, trying to back his way down, and he can't wrap it around. McKinley with another great defensive play. Quick outlet, Tillery in transition gets the roll.
Good outlet, pushing the ball up. Tillery using his speed, using his athleticism to go up to get the finish.
It's been more than 2 minutes since Western Carolina scored. McKee tries to change that here inside. Gets stuck. Dumassi on the drive, the kick. Great pump fake. Samaro hits the 3.
Great shot, good pump fake. Veteran player. Got Tillery go up off his feet to get a wide open jump shot. That's something that's not used that much in these days right now for guards. You know, usually you see a guy go by him, but that pump fake is very important, especially if you're a shooter.
Tillery, he gets stuck on the baseline and coughs it up. McKee leads the break. Extra kick. Brown couldn't handle it in the corner. And his pass is over in the front row. Now Cincinnati up 14 and getting a lot of contribution, Steve, from the newcomers.
Tillery is with his speed and athleticism going up for the lane. He's going to get a lot of those easy baskets this year. A whole different ball game from Cincinnati.
We'll go down to Kelsey Conway.
Anthony, I was just listening in on the Bearcats timeout there, and Wes Miller praised the transition defense after the turnover, but wants to see better defense in the pick and roll game.
I think he's going to be happy about that as well. Going up top to Chom, the big fella flushing it down.
Yeah, after the pick and roll, you love a guy that just roll to the basket and you can just throw it anywhere up in the air.
27-11, Cincinnati in front by 16 over the Catamounts. And Chelsea, you're right, it's been those backdoor cuts that have really powered the Western Carolina offense. Cincinnati going to the pick and roll there.
Quick screen first, big guy roll, just throw it anywhere near the basket and let Mustafa go up and get it and finish it.
Transfer from UCF, he was named to the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar top 20 preseason Center of the Year watch list.
You know, I watched him last year when he played Cincinnati, and he actually really did a great job. And I was impressed that Cincinnati went and got him in the portal. Big time add-on to the program.
Helping replace Aziz Bandego, some of that height inside from the last couple of years. Trying to stretch his range a little bit. That one's off. Rebound to Kell. Stansberry on that backdoor cut again. It wasn't there. Kell clears everybody out. Hand off Stansberry, a bit of a bobble there. He'll rise, and he will not hit. Second effort, Fantakaba inside, and here's a trip to the line.
Kaba working on the inside, seeing the missed shot come off the front of the rim. He didn't stop working, went up with 2 hands, got a big rebound, and got fouled on the play.
And that's what you mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Steve. Western Carolina going to the portal, getting some guys inside. For a team that was second in the Southern Conference in rebounds per game last year, they think their inside game is going to be even better this year with some more depth in there.
Yeah, they were looking for some toughness in the portal. Coach Kraft coming in his second year, understanding what he needed for his program. He went out and got some guys that's going to rebound the ball, and sometimes you need to throw that ball in for a 2 or something like that. So that's what he went and got. Big-time rebound by the big fella there.
It's also a more mature team, a little bit older this year. Abdullah Fantakaba, only a sophomore, but played some key minutes in conference play with Denver last year. In transition, Abayev way off, and Fantakaba retreats for the rebound. Highland pulls up, and that's in and out. A little bit unlucky there for C.J. Highland, who made 20 starts last year in his first season with the Catamounts. Good denial by Kaba. Just so long inside. He is an elite shot blocker, and he can really use that length to disrupt the passing lanes.
Well, Mustafa didn't hold off right there, and he let him get to his strength. You got to put him on your hip, make sure you catch the ball, and then go with your craft.
Transfer from Denver, spent 1 year with the Pioneers. Rodriguez out, Thomas back in for Cincinnati. Approaching the halfway mark of the first half. Cincinnati up 15.
Kurt missed him on the back cut.
Miller outside, Creasa now. Hand in his face. That's too long. Chom tips it out. Thomas for 3. A great box out inside from Kell.
Cincinnati's doing a great job of staying down on their feet on the shot fakes and getting through screens here.
Samaro, that's halfway down and out again. Catamounts have missed a couple of those tonight. Chom gets good position this time, and he's going to the line. Is that more of what you were talking about?
See,
coming to the ball?
Yeah, more coming to the ball, keeping the guy on the left side of your hip. So as you see here, that he keeps him on his back, and he takes one power dribble to the basket. The guy's constantly recovering, trying to block the shot or a foul, and he did a great job of sealing the guy so he can get 2 free throws here.
Well, puts Mustafa Chom at the line, a Senegal native. Last year he was on the Kyle Macy Award finalist for the nation's top freshman. And this year, as I mentioned, on the preseason top 20 list for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Center of the Year. A lot of guys, Steve, talking about this guy as the tools and potential for being a NBA draft pick. Whether it's this year, 2 years, whenever it might be, but just that type of tool.
Well, he has an NBA body already right now, and he has a mindset to be a pro. He can shoot the 3, he can run the floor and block shots. He just got to put it all together for a whole season.
Goes 1 of 2 at the line. Keeps Cincinnati at a 16-point lead. Demasi. Kell trying to take the baseline. Back to Demasi again. Stansberry inside. Great pass, Samaro. Kick out again. Stansberry with 2 to shoot. He's going to have to fire. And he can't. Great shutdown D from Abayev.
Great defensive possession by Cincinnati. Those guys was all over the floor, closing out, scrambling, and that's what you have to do in this league. Big 12 guys can shoot the ball really well, so you got to be able to close out. Great possession on defense by Cincinnati.
Seems like the movement and the passing is still there for Western Carolina, but just not as much of a flow as they were earlier in the game.
You know, I think Cincinnati made some adjustments in the timeout. Coach West got them guys about the back door, so they come out a little bit sound on defense.
Creasa up top again, and through contact, Chom gets the roll.
Once again here, big guy pass, watch the screen, gets a tap, just throw it up anywhere near the basket. He's going to go up and make a play. That's one of his strengths. Anthony's coming in here, that you have a big guy that like to get a touch on the guy. Once you make contact with the guard, the big guy has to step up. That's what makes him available to get a tip or a dunk.
And Creasa, one heck of a passer. When he was at Arizona for 3 years, starting his career, he led the Pac-12 in assists for 2 consecutive years.
Veteran player coming off the screen. He can shoot the ball well. So defense is going to have to come out and close out. And when that happens, you dump that ball right off to your big guy all day long.
Abayev checks out. Harris back in with the 2 fouls.
He's missed a lot of free throws here.
He sure has. Can't convert the three-point play, but Cincinnati's still up 18. Under 8.5 to go in the first half. Anthony Mazzini, Steve Logan, Kelsey Conway with you. Opening night of college basketball across the country. And that is going Cincinnati's way. An off-ball foul against Dada, who they really like. A freshman from Link Academy from Nigeria. And he has played some big-time minutes in the preseason for Tim Kraft, but called for the offensive foul there.
Yeah, one thing you notice as coaches, you got to deal with a lot of things on your opening night, that guys setting illegal screens, traveling, and not the chemistry there. So they're going to have to deal with that and play through that for the whole night. There's another screen here.
Miller, the cross, and the finish.
He denied the screen from the Mustafa, got to the basket, 2 dribbles. Hey, if you don't need the screen, don't use it, get a basket. You pick your dribble up here.
Dangerous pass out to Kelly, corrals it. Stansbury again wanting that backdoor cut. Kell, physical inside for the deuce.
It was a very physical play there, pushed the big guy down to get a, turnover here.
Let's see if the Catamounts can take advantage. Dumasi pushes it in transition. Out to Kell. Good closeout by Chum. Kell fancy. Can't finish it, but the tip is there for Dada.
What a great move by him. 2 dribble spin to get to the basket. He didn't stop playing. Got the tip.
Tim Kraft told us that Kell has played the 5 due to some team needs. He's really a stretch 4, but he has the skills of a 3. But I think this is the year. This is that big year now, year 5, probably the best roster that Wes Miller has had since being at Cincinnati. Hoping to get to the tournament for the first time since 2019.
Yeah, I think this is the best roster they've had in at least 4 or 5 years. And this city here, Cincinnati, is yearning for a team to get back to the NCAA.
Another back cut here, tracked down by Johnson into the corner, and that is off the mark for Petway. Offensive rebound, though, one of the better offensive rebounding teams last year in the Southern Conference, but Kaba gives it away. But great hustle by the big fella to try to fight for it back, and that's going to stay with Western Carolina on the jump. Really impressed early on with Abdoulaye Fanta Kaba and his hustle.
Yes, he's one of those guys, he don't mind putting his nose in anybody's business. He's rebounding, he's diving on the floor, he's getting back, and that's what you need as a coach. You need 1 or 2 guys like that just willing to come in and do the dirty work.
There's Petway, the Worcester, Massachusetts native, whose brother plays at Prairie View A&M. Eight to shoot. Denial for Stansbury, and then through the hands of Johnson. Turnover Catamounts. Here's Harris. Trying to take it end to end. Harris is denied from behind. Johnson, the big swat to recover. Harris a little slow getting up.
Good push here down to the center. It was sealed off by the big guy. He got a chance to go up for the contest. I think he got hit on the way up and came down on his ankle, but it appears to be fine. Shooting 2.
So the whistle did come in. Good catch, Steve. I didn't hear that. So Harris does earn the trip to the line. Not a clean block there for Johnson. Instead, 2 free throws for the lefty Harris.
Good looking stroke from the line.
And again, this is a guy who can score 6 points per game at West Virginia last year, but any offense they get from Harris is just icing on the cake with his defense.
Well, absolutely. They call what they call a doggone defense. They know what he brings to the table. Like you said, Anthony, if he can get a layup or open shot anywhere in here in the game, it's a big plus for Cincinnati.
That's a tip ball, and Zella comes away with it. They've really been impressed with the development of Halvin Zella, who played sparingly last year, but he's going to play more minutes this season. Miller, he's shown off that crossover a couple of times, but that's a foul on the floor.
Well, Zella made that play last possession for Harris. He sealed in the middle and had the middle wide open. That's why Harris was able to get to the line, get free throws, because it was wide open on the seal.
Western Carolina is over the limit, so free throws here for Baba Miller, who I don't know if he knows he's going to the line.
I like the ISO play by Cincinnati that they drew up on the sideline for him, the right wing, for him to go to work on the big guy, putting pressure on the rim. Good things happen when you go to the middle of the floor.
Cincinnati lost Jalen Haynes before the season even began for an indefinite period of time. He went down with a leg injury. But Wes Miller acknowledged in his last press conference before the season started, Steve, that you can still have rim pressure without having a true interior presence. Obviously, they would love to have Haynes, and that would add an interior element, but they're still going to score points inside. They will find a way through cuts, through penetration, to still get some baskets inside.
And that's what we've been showing right now since the game beginning. Pressure on the rim is what we call it. The guards, the wings, everybody is catching that ball and attacking the basket.
Obviously, without Haynes, that's a big loss, but Wes Miller said early indications they're going to be all right. If they get in transition, that's an even better way to get some points inside. Harris has taken a couple of hard falls, but he's going back to the line. He wanted to cock that one back and really inject some life into this building.
Off the turnover here, Harris is pushing it, gets a clear lane, wants to go up and make sure he finishes this play, got a hard foul, but I like the aggressiveness by Harrison so far on defense and on offense, putting pressure on the rim. He's having a good, sound ball game so far.
Still trying to walk off the landing. Harris has only played 5 minutes. He went to the bench with those 2 fouls earlier, but he's made an impact. There's Jalen Haynes, the transfer from George Mason, who was an all-conference first-teamer in the Atlantic 10 last year, a team that went to the NCAA tournament. He is out indefinitely, no timetable on his return. They are hopeful that he can find a way to get back later in the year.
Nickname Big Slime for a big guy. What would you think about that nickname, Anthony?
I don't know if that's for me. Anything with slime just doesn't sound too appealing.
Well, he's definitely a guy that you can throw the ball into the post and get a basket, so he's going to be missed this year.
Couple of really good up fakes. Stansberry got clocked.
Yeah.
And he is slow getting up as well, but you talked about it, Steve, the pump fakes and the up fakes for this Catamounts team. Very disciplined, very patient offense.
Oh, yeah, it's a incumbent experience. He sees here that he had a bigger guy on him, get a pump fake up, and then just get into the guy a little bit once he gets up. That was one of my favorite moves as a smaller guy to do. I had a big guy on me. I want to make sure that I get him up in the air and get a piece of him, possibly get an end one and some free throws. Great job there.
I feel like that's a benefit of having a nickname like Big Slime.
Yeah.
I feel like if you hear that as an opposing team, nobody wants to go near you. It's a sweaty guy, so stay away from me.
Right, Big Slime. I don't know if that's one of my favorite nicknames. I don't really agree with that nickname there. But, hey, that's him, and that fits him. Good for him.
Well, I got to ask you about Harris, because earlier you were admiring his activity, and you'll live with some of the fouls, but now it's 3 fouls in 5 minutes. It's early in the season, some rust, of course, but where do you draw the line?
Well, I like the aggressiveness. You know, you can teach, as Wes, I'm pretty sure he can teach that. He just has to be disciplined enough to know, hey, we gotta play the game like we see it now, how they're calling it. Big shot by Sean in the corner there.
The All-American, Cincinnati's first in a handful of years, showing off why he was highly touted coming out of high school. Great drive inside again for Kell.
This guy's a experienced player. He's putting his head down, man, and he's getting into the middle of the lane. But that's a positive. There's a bio getting his feet square, just elevating 6'10", elevating on the guy. He has no chance of contesting that shot, and he knocks it down for the 3 in the corner.
Tillery almost got in the way. He had to run out of bounds near the front row to allow that step back to happen.
Step back was a good-looking shot by a 6'10" guy. If you got that in your bag at 6'10", that's kind of unstoppable. That's unfair.
And how about the moves for Kell at 6'8"? Again, a guy that's played the 5 due to some roster size limitations in the past. Tim Kraft really says he's a stretch 4, but we're seeing those skills of that small forward type as well.
Yeah, you're down 20. Your team needs you to score baskets. He's putting his head down and trying to make something happen for his team, and he's playing hard. He's having a good game so far.
He's got 5 points in 11 minutes. And that is another 3-ball for Celestine. Spent 4 years at Cal, 1 at Baylor. He was kind of like a trade in the offseason. Dan Skilling's going from Cincinnati to Baylor, and Celestine going from Baylor to Cincinnati. McKee loses it. Here comes Tillery. And a no-look. But Zella misses it.
Great pass by the point guard. Stay with it.
And through the contact and 1. So Tillery not passing it up that time, taking matters into his own hands, and a chance for a 3-point play.
What I like about this play is that he made a great pass to his big fella Zeller. And he didn't put his head down because he missed the play. He gets right back in the play, gets a steal, and drives it hard and get an and one. Going to the line for a free throw.
Tillery was a top 50 recruit out of Albany, New York. He chose Cincinnati over offers from Kansas, Florida, Virginia, Tennessee, just to name a few.
Big-time schools.
Very big.
Big-time schools. Says a lot about the program in Cincinnati.
I mean, Florida alone.
Yeah.
Establishing itself as a top-tier college basketball program again. Stansberry can light it up. He knocks down a three.
It's a good-looking shot over a three. Right in rhythm for a three ball.
He's put on some muscle and some strength in the offseason. An elite free throw shooter. They love the three-point shot. They want Stansberry to get inside more as well to get to the line. Take advantage of that skill set. That's a push as Rodriguez went flying. And Rodriguez will be at the line. The Catamounts over the limit when we come back. Cincinnati, early start and early compressions look good, up 24. A couple of other neutral site games against Georgia and Clemson along the way as well. Of course, the Crosstown Shootout every year. That is at Xavier at the Cintas Center this year on December 5th. This is, you talk about maybe having the best roster of Wes Miller's tenure so far at Cincinnati. This might be the most challenging non-conference schedule he's had to play as well.
I like, when I looked at the schedule for Cincinnati, the early games, I like the early games. You want to throw a couple of games in there where you know that you're going to get challenged, get ready for the Big 12. And I think Coach West made an emphasis to do that this year.
He said in a press conference before the season began that he's learned a lot about the Big 12, and all the preseason prep is geared towards winning games in the Big 12, on the road versus quality teams that they're going to see in the Big 12. Talked about the exhibition games they played in Ann Arbor against a top 10 Michigan team, out in Fayetteville against a top 15 Arkansas team. Everything they're doing in the preseason and the non-conference, all geared towards winning in Big 12 conference play.
Well, being his 5th year here, he's learned along the way on, hey, how can I have my team ready to go by conference time? And he pushed the button on some of the games and some of the preseason games. And I think that's a great idea to get his ball team ready for the upcoming season.
Step back up jumper for Johnson is off the mark. Here's Abayev now. Cincinnati up 26 early on Western Carolina. A battle for the loose ball. Great hustle.
Great hustle.
But just out of the reach. Highland has shown off that dive and heart and hustle a lot in this first half.
Here's the out-of-bounds play. Tyler McKinley going for it. Just didn't get to it. He threw it out of bounds. Cincinnati ball. I like the size that we have out there, that Cincinnati has out there right now on the court. Western Carolina is really small. I think they should throw the ball inside.
Abayev, instead from the mid-range, knocks it in.
2-dribble pull-up by Sean. Good-looking shot.
Now, Western Carolina more size this year, but you can notice it, especially the guard size. Cincinnati hovers over some of these smaller guards. Stansberry doubled. The kick, Samara. He's got it. He's hit a couple of shots with a hand in his face tonight.
He's sound. Small guard, trying to get to his spot. Know what to do with the basketball out there. A lot of up fakes and a lot of dribbling. They got a good, clean three there.
He was a big-time scorer at Gardner-Webb when he played for Tim Graft a couple of years ago. More than 750 points in his time at Gardner-Webb.
Threw the ball off the back of the defender. Coming off the screen here for a 2-dribble pull-up. Really headsy play by Christie here to get the ball in. I think he was looking at the 5-second clock. He had to do something really crafty, and that's what you get from a veteran player like him.
A 6th-year player, Krisa, played at a number of big-time programs, including Big 12, Pac-12, SEC. Wrapping it up in Cincinnati for one final year. Stansberry off the window for 2.
To the left hand, to the left side, no help on the short corner there. Cincinnati got to have somebody there to help.
Abayev lost it and out of bounds off of the freshman. Well, Western Carolina getting some stops here, and now they need to capitalize on the offensive end. We go down to Kelsey.
Hey, Anthony, I'm standing behind Sincere Harris practice right now, and he looks like he is shaking out that left wrist. So let's keep an eye on this, because right now he's not sitting with the rest of the team. Right now he's standing, but the training staff was looking at that left wrist.
Yeah, thank you, Kelsey. We saw him take some of those hard falls, including that high riser in transition. And timeout Cincinnati here. Stansberry starting to heat up from 3. He is a sharp shooter.
Coming off the ball screen here. Ball screen to the right into a dribble pull-up for a 3. 2 threes in a row. He got it.
But the All-American doing one heck of a job here tonight. First time on the TV call.
Appreciate that, Anthony. It's a challenge, different from radio, but I'm definitely enjoying it, calling the game.
Well, you're doing great.
Thank you, buddy.
Minute and a half to go. Cincinnati up big over Western Carolina, and an off-ball foul is going against the Catamounts.
Well, heads up play by Rodriguez, man. He got the guy, he's all over him, off his back. See here, he got the guy trailing him, just stops for a second. Gets the foul there, smart, gets to the line for 2. Anything that you can do to get to the line to score a basket is a heady play, and I like that by Rodriguez, being smart.
It seems as if the European guys always seem to be a step ahead when it comes to the mental side of the game. Is there anything about, I know you played overseas, is it anything about the way they're trained, the way they're coached? It's just, yes, they're talented players, but the mental always seems to be a step ahead.
Well, I think they concentrate on more skill over there at a young age. Guys are in the gym, watching film, working on things that they can't do at an early age, and I think that's what benefits them when they come over here to play with some of the guys over here, that they're a step ahead, like you said, Anthony, on the skill side of things and the mental.
Did you ever play in Spain?
No, I never played in Spain. I haven't played in Spain.
You mentioned you played in Poland and had a lot of
Warsaw. I played
and kielbasa and pierogi, I imagine.
Warsaw got some best food. You wouldn't think it, but they got some real good chicken over there, my friend.
Bounce pass to McKee, Western Carolina, hoping for a bit of a push here before halftime. They've hit a couple of shots in a row, especially Stansberry, and that is a walk on Highland trying to get inside.
Well, for the most part, Cincinnati has played really good defense this first half. They've caused over 13 turnovers in the first half, and anytime you can get a team to turn the ball over that much, you got a good success of winning the game.
They have cracked down on those backdoor cuts, which were eating them alive in the first 5 or 7 minutes. Screen, McKinley trying to free up Rodriguez. Lob inside to the roll. McKinley over the shoulder, can't hit it.
I think McKinley missed Mustafa down there. He hit the guy on his back.
Samaro off the side rim. Rebound McKinley. 40 seconds to go. Cincinnati could hurry and go 2 for 1. Krisa for 3. Tough rebound inside for McKee. And Western Carolina here can pretty much hold for the final shot. 1 second different shot in game clock, and Tim Kraft is going to use that use it or lose it timeout with as many as 3. And turned over right away. So the timeout doesn't pay off. Samaro gives it up. Thomas with the pilfer. He can't hit the first shot, but gets it back with 15 to go in the first half. A wasted opportunity for the Catamounts out of the timeout. Halftime winding down. It's in the hands of Thomas. Stansberry switches. It's going to be a long 3 for Thomas to end the half. 49-28. The Bearcats in front of Western Carolina.
And to turn them over, and that's what Cincinnati has done a great job the first half.
Now the Bearcats start with the basketball in the second half. Bounce pass to Abayev to get it going, and he lays it off to Chom inside. Good start to half number 2.
Great play call out of the half-court set. Get it to Shanabavu, drawing it towards the basket for easy 2.
Inside, an excellent give to Dada, and he can't get the roll. That's a great find from Highlands. Pretty much identical plays to open up this half. Too strong for Abayev. And that is out of bounds off of Thomas.
Well, he has some open looks lately, Anthony, and he just haven't got him to go in. But he got, as a mindset, as a pro and as a freshman, you got to keep taking those shots when you're wide open, whether you're making them or missing them.
Well, as Wes Miller told Kelsey Conway going into the locker room, once he does all the other stuff, the scoring is going to be there. It's the other stuff that has to come along, like most freshmen in the country.
Absolutely, got to get him to buy into the defense, working hard, playing defense first. Like you said, everything, he has the whole package.
That's an offensive foul. Stansberry, a bit of a push-off. Krisa slid the feet to draw the foul.
Stansberry's looking to get to the basket aggressively. Kirk, being an experienced player, got to get his feet in his chest above him, and he took the charge. Great play by him.
And again, you hate to see mistakes and fouls, but I think if you're Tim Kraft, you came into the season wanting to see Stansberry more aggressive going to the basket. You can live with that one because you know he took the message to heart.
Absolutely.
On the drive, Miller, another big-time flush.
101 play on the isolation. 101 play. They didn't. Western Carolina didn't help. Easy two-hand dunk, tear the rim down.
Miller with another bucket. He's at 9. And a swat inside for Chum. A couple of big guys in there. Abayev, Miller, Chum. Very tall on the perimeter and down low for Cincinnati. Now, of note as well, we didn't mention it in the first half, Western Carolina without Vernon Collins tonight, who was questionable coming in and officially declared out before the game. But that's another piece of the depth inside that is going to be crucial in Southern Conference play for the Catamounts this year.
Pushing it with purpose.
And Thomas caps it with a 3.
Priscilla pushing it with purpose, under control, finds a wide open Day for open 3.
Kell needs some help. Highland, that's a reach from the back. Krisa, the guilty party.
Priscilla getting to the middle of the floor, finding a wide open Day trailing. Easy three-pointer. Good to see Day get going, Thomas get going for a 3.
Thomas 5 points, 3 assists, no turnovers in 15 minutes of action. Miller and Abayev tied for the Cincinnati team lead with 9 points. Stansberry has 12 on 5 of 8 from the floor for the Catamounts. Here's Dada. Stansberry off the curl. Back to Stansberry, second try. And Miller has the rebound.
See 2 contested three-pointers not going for Stansberry. That's rare.
Off the mark for Abayev. Samara weaving through traffic. Stansberry, 3rd time's the charm.
3rd time. That defense, Samara is getting to the middle of the paint. Once you get to the middle of the paint as a point guard, everything opens up for you. Stansberry's hot now.
Well, he missed those 2, Steve, and yet still 3 of 6 on the night, 50% from long range. Krisa lost it. He would have had a wide open layup on that back cut. Thomas. A kick, and Krisa not expecting it. So turnover Cincinnati.
From my experience as a point guard, Thomas got to let that play develop a little bit. Pushing it to the middle of the floor, finding his shooter over in the corner, mid-corner right there. Bang, bang for 3.
So when you say wait for the play to develop, what was he anticipating? What should he have waited to develop?
Well, he wanted to let Sham get a piece of his man. Once he gets a piece, that's when you come off the screen. Now you got the defense trying to recover, and you have an advantage for an open guy. He didn't let it develop. He was rushing a little bit, and he turned it over.
Dada has come up unlucky a couple of times, and look at that. Leaping with the long strides and a flush for Baba.
Oh, Miller running the floor like a pro. That was impressive. 1-2 dribble after the catch. Wow, that was impressive. Yep.
Baba Miller.
Transition 1-2 dribble from the foul line and flushes it.
Start counting the sheep. Baba putting him to bed.
Throw it down hard, big fella. Came back in Arkansas and laid the egg, but you learned something out of both of those 2 games and you move on in the season.
Wes Miller said they grew confidence. He said there's still plenty of room to grow. But they played everyone. They experimented with some different lineups. He really valued those exhibition games. And Miller went as far to say is, I wish there were more opportunities for more exhibition games. He feels the product of college basketball would be better throughout the entire country with some more of those exhibition games.
Well, you get to learn what your team is about. You know, you guys practice all summer long, and then you want to get in and bang on some other people, so you get to see what your team is about and what you need to work on, your strengths and weaknesses. And so that's what coaches want. They want more exhibition games before the preseason.
Where do you stand on that?
Well, I like it. I mean, you get the guys at least 4 exhibition games before the season. I think that's pretty fair.
A lot of them being televised now, as there is a crave for college basketball in that mid-October portion of the calendar before things really ramp up in November. Now 15:59 to go in the first half, and we're taking a timeout in Cincinnati. Bearcats up big over the Catamounts in Fifth Third Arena.
Program, you know, he could have went anywhere in the world, and for him to pick BYU and want to play for a coach like that says a lot about the program and the coach. Good for him. You know, I hope he does well, but it's a lot of growing in your freshman year.
Inside, and Miller earns a trip to the line. So the Cougars, whether they're BYU or Houston, expected to finish first in the Big 12 this year.
Well, the Cougars and the Samsons that had his team's been rolling for years out there. He always have good players and good program out there, so we expect Houston to be out there, right? But for BYU to slip up there and get into the talks of being top 5 in the conference really says a lot for the program, Anthony.
You go back a couple of years ago when Cincinnati and Houston and UCF, among others, joined the Big 12, and then Utah and Arizona State and Colorado joined the next year. You know, you kind of looked at Houston and said, that's the team most ready to join the Big 12, and there's just been no drop-off since then.
Yeah, physically and mentally. You look at those guys look like pros. You know, they got definition in their arms and legs, like they work out every day with the weight in the weight room. And that says a lot about the program. You know, it's top-notch program, and Simpson has his team ready every year for the tournament.
They've built a juggernaut down in Texas. Stansberry off the screen, trying to spin away from Creasa. Stuck right with him. Petway gives it off. Now Johnson, 3 to shoot. Johnson trying to create some space, and he leaves it short. Shot clock violation. They really like Justin Johnson. He didn't play much on a very good Arkansas State team last year, but when he's on, he can erupt for a lot of points in a hurry, but he has been tied up a lot tonight.
Yeah, that says a lot about the Cincinnati defense here. Cincinnati come out second half with a lot of defensive pressure, hands in the air, deflections, turnovers and ball, so he got a long night ahead of him.
Inside and a grab before Miller could free himself. So Kell gets called for the foul there. It's been another scoring drought here for Western Carolina, more than 2.5 minutes. Third foul on Kell. Off the screen, set by Chum. Thomas going downhill, and it's blocked. Johnson got a piece of it from behind. Petway releases for 3, and he got it.
Good block, good defensive possession by Western Carolina to get out in transition to get an open trade. Cincinnati got to sprint back and find a man.
First career points for Talon Petway, and now a turnover inside. Damasi takes it away from Chum down low. Kell off the screen, trying to slither through. Damasi with 5 to shoot. Damasi trying to spin away, and Creasa ties him up. Possession arrow will keep it with Western Carolina with only 1.4.
Thomas comes off the screen here, thought he had an easy layup with a good block, and they get out in transition right here with his head up. Point guard gets the ball under control, looking at the floor. and knocks in an easy three. Cincinnati got to get back on defense and find a man and lock up. But great possession on the defensive end, the offensive end by Western Carolina.
And now they have very little time to get some offense here. 1.4 goes to Johnson, and that's short again. They're going to stop that. Harris didn't have possession before the timer ran out.
Yeah, usually when you have like 1.4 seconds left, you usually got to get something going to the basket, maybe a tip. You know what I mean? There's something quick. It's hard to get a three-point shot off with 1.4.
How much time do you think you need for any sort of catch and shoot?
At least about 2 seconds.
2 seconds?
You know what I mean? Without being rushed. Good post.
Harris trying to put it on the floor. Johnson sticks right with him. Thomas. And he loses it. Damasi with a great defensive play again. And a tie-up will keep it with Cincinnati.
I tell you, Anthony, the last 3 possessions on this end, defensive incident, Western Carolina has really brought it to Cincinnati, whether it's block shots, rebounding, or making turnovers. Cincinnati getting a little sloppy on the offensive end. They got to clean some things up.
And we talked about the guards. You know, Western Carolina can match up size-wise down low tonight, but it's been the guards where we've seen the noticeable size difference, but they're scrappy, Steve.
Yeah, they're scrappy. They got some veteran guys out here, and they're not afraid at all.
Backdoor, Harris, extra pass, another one, and McKinley lays it in. That's really, really good offense for Cincinnati.
Great extra pass to find an open guy. Good to see Tyler McKinley get a basket underneath after all he's been through with his knee injury over the summer.
Damasi skips it, and he throws an interception. Harris splits the defenders up top. And another hard fall going back to the line.
This is 3rd or 4th hard fall that he's had tonight, haven't he?
Somebody get the ice bath queued up for Sincere Harris.
Here it is. Chime with the good look to McKinley being in the right place. That's Celestine being in the right place at the right time. Celestine to McKinley for the easy deuce.
So Harris going to the line, and Kelsey, you reported earlier, was getting his hand checked out. Good to see him back in the game.
Yeah, and when we had a chance to talk to General Manager Corey Evans ahead of this season, I asked him, who are those glue guys on your team? And he said 2 players, Day-Day Thomas, and he said Sincere Harris, and he said he is the best college basketball defender, and he said without question. So they have really high hopes for what Harris can bring to this team, specifically from a leadership standpoint and as a defensive player.
Well, they're just hoping he can shoot the free throws right now. Thank you, Kelsey. So clearly still hampered by that hand injury, and that first one did not look very good.
Yeah, he has something going on with his hand that he's holding. But I think the rule is if he comes out the game and can't shoot the free throws, he has to stay out the game. So I think he's trying to muster it up and fight through right now to get the extra free throw.
And Abayev going back over to the scorer's table. Harris is not going to take the second free throw, so Abayev coming in. And I believe at this point Tim Kraft can pick who he wants to take these free throws, because Harris cannot continue. That is obviously a big development in the season opener, as Kelsey reported, and as we've seen tonight, when he's at his best, he's the defensive stopper for this Cincinnati team. So any prolonged absence, especially with Dayton looming in just the 3rd game of the year, that could be a significant loss for Cincinnati.
I'm pretty sure Coach West is going to talk to him after the game about his falls, protecting himself, being a little bit more aggressive. You want to be aggressive and you want to go up high for a layup, but you got to protect yourself coming down, and they need you for the rest of the season.
Tim Kraft chose Keyshawn Tillery, and Tillery makes the free throw. So 1 of 2 combined between Harris and Tillery. Petway trying to snake his way through, and the pass deflected. Works its way out to Celestine. Rodriguez, too strong. Johnson hoping to silence those air ball chants. It won't happen there. Knocked away by Rodriguez, but you know there's nobody in this building that wants to make a shot more than Justin Johnson right now.
Yeah, he's been 0 for 3 his last 3 shots, and Western Carolina is just clearing out an area and letting guys play one-on-one and try to get a score.
He's going to keep getting those chances until he makes one. Off the screen, Stansberry rattles it in. He has been on fire from long range tonight. 62-37, back down to Kelsey for more on Harris.
Harris just left the court and went back to the Bearcats locker room. You could see him wincing in pain. He's grabbing that left wrist, so we will see if he comes back out of the locker room before the game is over.
Now Wes Miller not happy with the defense on that last possession. I'm sure he's not thrilled that his defensive stopper, who is likely the one to guard Cord Stansberry, is out for the foreseeable future of this game. Celestine, the kick. Tillery. Stansberry up high to grab the rebound.
There was 2 or 3 Cincinnati guys there. Stansberry went and got that ball strong off the rebound.
He's showing off that new look body with the extra muscle and weight. Johnson. 10 seconds to shoot. Trying to drive inside this time, and it works for him. Going to the line when we come back to Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati. Shot starting to fall now for Western Carolina. Still down 25.
You know, doing little things like that, bowling and paintbrush and stuff like that, and coaches getting involved. It's a great thing, college.
Johnson hits the first free throw to silence the crowd and those airball chants for a moment. What was your favorite non-basketball team bonding activity?
We didn't have any.
You didn't have any?
No.
All basketball all the time.
When I was playing back with Hugs, we didn't have any team bonding outside of the basketball floor. I wish we did, but we didn't.
Well, I'd say it worked for your groups.
It actually did work for us. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation where it's like, hey, man, we're here to take care of business all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good and a bad thing, and depending on the type of character guys you have, you know.
I think it speaks to the coach that Bob Huggins was as well.
Absolutely. I mean, tough, hard-nosed, come to work every day no matter what, and it paid off for us.
Now Bayev going to the line. He's putting off a very good first game for a freshman. First trip to the line tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely looked really solid and aggressive on the offensive end. He got to clean some things up on the defensive end, but he looks good and aggressive on the offensive end.
He's at 10 points, couple of rebounds, and assist. 17 minutes of action. The McDonald's All-American, the 8th in program history, and the 2nd highest rated recruit in program history, only trailing Lance Stevenson in the late 2000s.
Oh, that's saying something there.
Stansberry's been the hot hand for Western Carolina. Rattled in his last shot from 3 before the break. Petway rises above and nails it.
It's a good-looking shot off the glass there. He got to his spot and just elevated over Sean.
Abayev too short. Good box out inside from Dada. We have not seen Abdoulaye Fantakaba in this second half for Western Carolina. Kell with a hand in his face nails the 3. And all of a sudden some momentum for the Catamounts here on the offensive end. Long range Celestine, he leaves it short. Rebound Stansberry, here comes Petway.
Cincinnati settling for 3s, Anthony. You got to get more stuff going towards the basket.
Stansberry, how about that? He's putting on quite a show tonight. Little duck through the defender and a chance for 3 at the line. Catamounts within 19 on the back of Cord Stansberry.
That's that extra strength that you talked about over the summer, being able to take the hit and finish and get to the line for extra one.
I mean, this is not uncharacteristic for Stansberry. 20 points. He averaged more than 11 last year. Again, did a lot of his damage at the line, but that extra weight, more muscle, really became a more well-rounded player in the offseason. He's at 21 now. His career high, Steve, is 24. He did that against Bellarmine last year.
So he's on the mark to try to get that tonight, 24. The way he's playing and how he's aggressive.
Well, the Catamounts putting on some pressure in the second half. Still more than halfway to go in this second half. Rodriguez, nowhere to go. Krisa. Miller, that's a long 2. Rodriguez keeps it in bounds. It never hit the rim. Rodriguez fires. And a shot clock violation. Catamounts basketball.
The last 3 possessions for Cincinnati have been 3-pointers shooting. They have to get something more going to the rim or throwing it into the bigger guys so they can create plays playing inside out. Western Carolina is doing a great job on defense right now the last 4 possessions. And
they've backed it up with making some shots offensively. Reset for Stansberry. Fall away jumper. A battle inside. Miller corrals it. Going after it with his own teammate there on the Spanish youth national teams, Jordi Rodriguez. Entry feed and a whistle goes against the Catamounts. They are over the limit. So some free throws coming here for Cincinnati.
See, having more experienced players on the floor like Carissa and Thomas right now to be able to say, hey, listen, we shot the ball 4 times from the 3-point line. Let's throw it on the Chimes or let's throw it into Miller to try to get something easy on him. And that's what they did right there. They cleaned up the 3-point shooting and threw it inside.
Well, that's why we hadn't seen Fanticaba much in this second half, because he just fouled out. That was number 5. So he was playing a 4. He comes in and commits a foul, and he is now done. So Caba's night is done with 1 point, 4 rebounds in 11 minutes. Thought it was odd we hadn't seen him. I didn't see him get injured, and you look down at the stat sheet, and all of a sudden he's fouled out.
Yeah, I didn't know he had 4 either. Yeah. Quick night for him, huh?
Well, now we know we won't see him for the rest of the game. We don't have to wonder why. That's obviously a big loss for Western Carolina, playing without Vernon Collins tonight, and now down their starting center. Kell gets some separation. Great box out by Cham inside. The big fella's going to take it partially up the floor. And he nails the 3 at the other end.
Big Cham can do that when he's wide open. He likes his top of the key 3. Good looking shot for him.
Samaro. Petway, pull up. Strong rebound once again from Cham inside. Now, Catamounts have been giving him that 3-point shot. Made him pay the last trip. Too short for Thomas. Great crossover. And Rodriguez, no choice but to foul.
Right here, solid, being real solid. 2-team kicked it out for Mustafa for the wide open 3. The big fella can do that. Anytime he gets a good look at the top of the key, he's going to shoot it. Nice looking form, the gooseneck, got it to go for 3.
And that's part of the reason why he's getting some next level looks, right? I mean, you got a lot of guys in the NBA, 6'11", 7 foot. Cham's 7'2". He's young, only a sophomore. One of the best shot blockers in the nation. And, of course, with the evolution of the game, if you can shoot a little bit, that's even better. So if you can step outside and be somewhat consistent, it's a whole package right there for a big man.
Absolutely. NBA always looking for centers that can stretch the floor. And that's what he's been showing tonight, that he can hit the 3. If he can be consistent, over 30% shooting the 3, he got a big-time shot at going to the next level.
Although I think you and I can both appreciate, we were talking over dinner before the game, as Samaro hits the second chance 3. The way the game's trending, you kind of miss that big bruiser inside, that 6'8", 250 kind of guy. That's a valuable asset as well.
Yeah, here's Miller putting it on the floor once again, being under control, not being sped up with the kiss off the glass. Good shot by Miller.
And travel. Dada turns it over. And Cincinnati has steadied the ship a little bit after a burst from Western Carolina. They're back up 21.
Players that come here and just evolve around the program.
You knew right off the bat how many wins you were part of at Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't want to toot my horn too much, but I am the winningest basketball player in Cincinnati history in basketball. I can say that for a little guy, fat guy from Cleveland.
Well, I don't know about fat, maybe pudgy, but I don't know about fat. Under 8 to play in the second half here with Steve Logan, Anthony Mazzini, Kelsey Conway with you. Opening night of college basketball around the nation. Kell trying to back his way inside, and just a tough angle there. He's really had to work for his shots tonight. Has to get it up quickly here off the back foot, and that one's good. So a great reset after it never hit the rim. Kell going deeper into the bag of trips for 2.
This says a lot about, his career. He stayed working on that play, came back out of bounds, and was able to get the basketball and finish.
High arcing hook for Sham. A couple more for the big fella. Really seeing his whole bag tonight as well. The inside game, the outside with the 3. A lot of great individual performances both sides tonight. Led by that guy, Stansberry, off the mark that time. That's going the other way. A push off there as Dada went flying down.
Mustafa just got away with a cheap one there. Two-hand push to the chest. I don't think he had to do that, Anthony. He was wide open. It was a great pass by Priscilla. I don't think he had to put his hands on him. Just catch it, get in a position, and finish.
Well, again, you got a great passer and you're that tall. Dada's got some height to him as well, but you're 7'2". Just put the hands up.
That's it.
Well, instead of turnover for Cincinnati, that's the team's 12th of the night. 22 for the Catamounts. That has been what has plagued them, as Tim Kraft talked about with Kelsey at halftime. Backdoor cut, Samaro. That has been the best offense they've had when they can get to the rim, and then off the turnovers as well. Dada, the pilfer. Highland challenges and can't get the roll. Hung on the rim for an extra moment, didn't fall, but 2 free throws coming for Highland.
Western.
Go down to Kelsey.
Anthony, the official word on Harris right now is that he's undergoing further evaluation, and that's the update we have.
Thank you, Kelsey. So not sure we expect to see Harris for the rest of the evening. But Western Carolina getting some stops in that half-court trap right as Cincinnati's getting it across mid-floor here, and they're getting some offense because of it.
Yeah, they're gonna cause havoc in their conference there, and they're showing some spurts of great plays here in this ball game where they put together 3 or 4 possessions on defense and made some great plays on offense. So this team is really coached well, disciplined. They got some players that can really play, and they came in and showing it tonight. And they're not quitting. Even though they're down 20-some points, they're not quitting. They're still playing.
Well, Tim Kraft told us that he wants Western Carolina to be a program of player and personal development. And he kind of laughed and he said, in the age of college basketball, we never know how long we're going to have somebody.
Right.
But for however long they're here, we want them to leave a better player and a better person. And you can just see from one year to the next, you go from an 8-win team last year, they're putting on quite the show. A lot of fight here tonight against a Big 12 opponent.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can ask for as a coach is, hey, just coach me up, coach, the best way you can. I'm going to work hard. Chom with another one-footer fadeaway. He's in his bag tonight, Anthony. He looks really good tonight.
A second on Cincinnati with 14 points now. He is vaulted up there with a good showing in the second half. Highland, and that goes down. A high arcing hook there for C.J. Highland. And a whistle comes in on that rim run for Chom, had it knocked away.
Running the floor, rim to rim. Priscilla's getting his head up, pushing the ball up the floor. That's been the focal point all night, is pushing the ball ahead. Big guys get out and run. If you get out and run, I'm going to find you and I'm going to throw the ball ahead. A great characteristic of a point guard and good guard play here tonight for Cincinnati, pushing the ball ahead.
Kirk Kriisa bringing that added passing and vision ability for a team that has a lot of playmakers this year. Again, as Kelsey reported earlier with Corey Evans, the inaugural GM of this Cincinnati basketball team, valuing some more offense. At times they felt they were lacking the last couple of years, and that was the emphasis when Evans and Miller looked at the roster and what they needed to bring in. And then you add the point guard of Kriisa, who can score by himself but also facilitate. Makes for a well-rounded group.
Yes, it does.
Couple at the line there for Chom. Samaro. Highland now with 7 to shoot. Working inside, can't spin it home. Big one-handed rebound for Miller. Chom tries to spin baseline, and he loses it off the bottom of the backboard. And a blocking foul Krisa. Both teams over the limit now, so Samaro is going to shoot free throws.
Good play here, moving his feet, just a tad bit slow to get there. But Chris been doing that all night, beating the guy to the spot. He just was slow enough to get there. Like I said, they're Western Carolina guards. They're fearless, man. They're getting to the basket, putting their head down, and trying to score the ball.
Samaro from the Bronx in New York. As we mentioned, played 3 years at Gardner-Webb, and look at him go up to get that one as well. Highland can't capitalize. Johnson back up. Highland inside this time, and good interior defense to not foul. Kell keeps it alive. Samaro in there, legs flying up. Samaro misses. Miller can't grab it, and a foul. And Dada banged up near midcourt. Somebody went pinwheeling up through the air, and I think it was Dada who took the worst of it.
A lot of bodies falling out here. One thing, both teams have to be there. First game of the season, you got to be careful. Good hustle there to throw it back in. Two guys run over each other. Missed three here. Go up and get the rebound. Miller gets fouled. Come down for 2 shots.
I mean, you talk about chaos. You go from missed free throw, extra chance, nearly out of bounds, throw to midcourt, somebody's up in the air, missed right, three, battle for the ball, and a foul.
Foul.
Did I miss anything?
No. Home opener. That's what it sounds like, right?
Shaking the rust off.
Yeah.
So that is a real thing, you know, getting the emotions right. And,
oh yeah, definitely.
The
definitely. First game, these coaches know, man, that guys are gonna turn the ball over. We're gonna make some mistakes. We're gonna not do this, and that's what the game home number is for. Let's look at the film. Let's regroup. Let's see some of the stuff that we got to work on. Let's move forward and get better in the season.
Did you ever have a notable season opener performance that stands out in your mind?
I don't know if I say the noticeable one was Alaska shootout in Alaska. Great block by Day Thomas coming over. Ill-advised pass hit by Priscilla looking up ahead. But Coach West just nodded over there to him and said, hey, I'm going to take that guy. You've been looking up ahead.
It's kind of what we were talking about. Great at one moment, a little rusty on the other.
Right. Puts you up for a good program. You get a little bit of experience, a little bit of youth, guys that know how to play and been around and been working hard for years to help the newcomers come in. But it's been great to see these new guys come in the program and do well.
Thomas with another block. He gets up there to deny Kell. 7 to shoot for the Catamounts. Johnson, step back jumper in the corner.
Good looking shot. He finally got one to go, wide open. Maybe they had to get him going.
He's got 3 points. It's been tough sledding for Johnson tonight. You can see the smoothness in his game as Zabayo rattles it in off the pull-up.
Off the pull-up, that's going to be there for him. He's so big in size, he can shoot over any defender. That's going to be there for him every game.
It's a lofty comparison, but with Abayev in that mid-range game and the craftiness, did you say Carmelo Anthony-esque with that mid-range type game?
Yeah, I can see that a little bit with a little bit more work, a little bit more experience with his footwork. I can see that happening.
Thomas in transition, buries the 3. And a quick timeout. Wes Miller wants to talk it over. Maybe get some different guys in there as well for the final 2:45, and that seems to be the case with Jordy Rodriguez coming to the table.
Tyler in the middle, kicking it to Day Thomas for the 3. Day took the shot, but he also had Shina Babu in the corner if he didn't feel like passing it. If he felt like passing.
With Kell, Highland, Samaro, Stansberry, and McKee. Catamounts made that push middle of this second half, but just could not sustain it long enough, and the deficit was so tall to begin with that even that little push did not make much of a dent. But certainly encouraging signs, especially if they can get these kind of performances from Stansberry over the course of the year. And Kell, it's just been He's worked for everything, and you've talked about it's kind of the epitome of his career, but he's got nothing easy tonight.
And I like those two guards, man. Stansbury and Keller. They're going to be a handful in their program to stop, man. I mean, in their conference to stop. Those guys are fearless. They can shoot the ball really well, and they're aggressive. So they're going to have great careers at Western Carolina, and they're going to have a good year.
Yeah, maybe, Kelsey, even a longer career outside of basketball for Marcus Kell.
Yeah, and he was an interesting one that Coach Kraft spent a lot of time talking about, and he said they really feel like they have a hidden gem in there. And early on in his career, he really wasn't showing what he's made of, and they really feel like this is the season where he can really lead them. And he said he's one of the players that he has conversations about what life's going to look like after he's done playing basketball, and he's majoring in construction management, and he's really interested in doing that when he's done playing basketball.
Yeah, he wants to be a project manager or a foreman, something along those lines. This guy's just a bring a bucket and pail and show up to work every day sort of player.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Wants to take that over for the next 40 years as well.
Love those type players. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, off one foot there for Stansbury. That rims out. Those are the guys you really respect for the work they put in. And even on a tough night for Kelly, has 12 points, 9 rebounds. Abayev hits from 3.
Good look at 3, isolated one-on-one. Didn't rush it, got it to his bag for open 3.
Kell tries to duck in. Offensive rebound, Dada. And contested there by Zella. Tillery gives it up. Rodriguez. Back to the freshman Tillery with 14 to shoot. Rodriguez spots up in the corner. A 92 on the board for Cincinnati with 50 seconds to go. Stansbury. A rebound for McKinley. About 11 seconds different shot and game clock. Cincinnati will start the year 1-0 tonight. And all those newcomers that we talked about certainly made their impact felt. Putting the finishing touches on this one tonight. Abayev on the drive and the finger roll finish.
I think that would do it. This closing two-pointer. Cincinnati getting out early, finishing the show.
Now Stansbury lays that in, 23 now. He'll finish one shy of his career high. A great performance from the redshirt junior tonight, but it's not enough. And Western Carolina falls on the road, 94-63. Cincinnati starts off year 5 of Wes Miller with a win. He has won all 5 of his season